Well, after the rain has moved out, the track prep crew has done a fantastic job of getting this 3/8 mile oval ready to roll, and 23 Ozark Golf Cars USRA B mods make their way out from the pit area in turn number 2. 25 times around is their feature length tonight here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Bill Roberts Chevrolet Pace Truck, all the B mods in tow of that beautiful ride out in front with the blinking lights. It's a mainstay here at Lucas Oil Speedway, and we'll get the field set for you for our A main for the B mods here tonight at Lucas Oil Speedway. Randy Zimmerman out of Fort Scott, Kansas. First time the Z28 has been here at Lucas Oil Speedway this year. He will start on the pole with J.C. Newell on his outside. He's out of Buffalo, Missouri. The 42C of Casey Thomas and Dustin Atkinson, a late model driver from Lebanon, behind the wheel of a B-Mod tonight in the J2. Bobby Williams came oh so close to a feature win earlier this year out of Hermitage. He will start inside row 3. J.C. Morton on his outside. Then two drivers that are due, John Sheets and Mitchell Franklin, back in row number 4. But it'll be a long effort for them tonight to get up to the front. Brian Bolin and Dalton Till will make up row number 5. Donnie Jackson and Bryce Gottschall out of Nevada, Missouri in row 6. Jay Flynn and Caden Stacy. Caden actually won our season opener here out of Fairgrove, Missouri. He pilots the number 15 back outside row 7. Dayton Pursley won last night at another track. He will start in 15th. Dwight Brown on his outside. El Dorado Springs, Missouri's Logan Smith will start inside row number 9. Terry Schultz on his outside, then the rest of the field with Dunwoody and Taylor. Back in row 11 is Terry Williams and Brett Holman, and TJ Yount will bring up the caboose back in 23rd.
Great field to start this main event for tonight. 25 laps. Here we'll decide it. And Shane, you got some really great drivers in the field.
Again, the top 8 in passing points all redrew, and Randy Zimmerman pulled the pill of number 1. That's why he is up in front. J.C. Newell starts outside of him. He came so close earlier on in the year for a feature win, was actually leading whenever the throttle linkage snapped on the 83, and he was unable to finish that race. Mike Striegel has pulled yeoman effort tonight as he has been up on the flag stand all evening long. You see the sweatshirt on hand. Can you believe we started out 80 and sunny, and we are now down to mid-40s and a blowing wind at about 35 mile an hour. It's just miserable out there for him up on top of the flag stand, but you can't ask for more than a Wheatland Outlaw. He won last night, too, at EC.
Yeah, over Electric City, man. He did an incredible job. He and his son both bringing home a victory last night over to Electric City. So great job by both of those. And he said he's still got a few wins still in there. So
he picked up number 99. He said he'll retire whenever he hits triple digits. He's got one more to go. Who will win tonight and add one more to their win column? As Zimmerman out in front with J.C. Newell, they stay side by side at the drop of the green.
Newell with just an edge coming out of turn number 2 now into turn 3. It is Zimmerman on the inside, Newell on the high side. As they come around this time for the first lap, it's going to be J.C. Newell, your leader. Zimmerman in second, the 42. That is Casey Thomas in third.
J.C. Newell out of Buffalo, Missouri. He actually lives one block over from where I'm at. I can look out my back window and see his shop. He's fired up that 83 from time to time, taking it around the block, and everybody knows whenever he's ready for race day because they can hear the rumble of that power plant and those Rubel horsepowers underneath the hood of the 83. Randy Zimmerman in town for the first time out of Fort Scott, Kansas. That's a Brummy-built engine, Phoenix chassis. He was last here last year, finished 10th in his one outing. He started up on the pole, and he's got his hands full right now with J.C. Newell, who has stretched it out to a half a second lead over the Z28.
Dustin Atkinson, the late model driver, now filling in that J2 car, moves up into that 4th spot. J.C. Morton in that top 5 as they come around. It is still Newell and Zimmerman battling up front.
And this is a racy bunch right here. Mitchell Franklin in the F1, John Sheets in the 8th, and then you've got the one who is sitting back in Bobby Williams. Williams almost won a feature as well. He got passed on the last lap by Caden Stacy to start the season. Mitchell Franklin has been running up front all season long, and John Sheets has already been a 2-time winner this season. The J2 on the right side of your screen, typically piloted by Chris Jackson, not behind the wheel tonight. Dustin Atkinson works for J2 Racing. So he is piloting this car tonight. As you mentioned, Doug, a former or current late model driver that runs down at Midway around the Lebanon area, taking a step away from the late model, and he's ran a modified as well, now behind the wheel of a B-Mod. As you see, a pass for position now as J.C. Morton is in 5th. Mitchell Franklin rides along in 6th, and John Sheets in tow in 7th.
These J2 chassis are brand new, coming around, or been around for a couple of years now, but man, they are fast. They do an incredible job with them. J.C. Newell, the 83, still out front. He has got the Z28 of Zimmerman in that second spot. Casey Thomas, the 28, now looking on the rear of Zimmerman as they come through this time.
Again, J.C. Morton in 5th, Franklin 6th, John Sheets in 7th. So you see pretty much in that screenshot right there the 3 major builders, if you will, in this area as far as B-Mods go. J2, as you mentioned, that is what John Sheets is in the 8. They have really started to develop their chassis program. Allen Auto Sports in the 18 of J.C. Morton is one of the cars that kind of leads that pack, but J.C. Newell, also behind the wheel of an Allen Auto Sports car, leads this entire race right now. And then Mitchell Franklin in the F1. Franklin puts together their chassis as well. As you see the yellow light come out, the Boone's Barbecue caution is out on the track. The field slows as you see the flag wave. J.C. Newell had built up a 0.6 second advantage. 10 laps in to our 25-lap main, and there you see the reason the caution has come out. It is for the 21 of Dalton Till out of Fulton, Missouri. The Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew will have to go up and give him a friendly nudge as he is on the exit road back into the pit area. So the Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew quickly out on the track. J.C. Newell has been quick every single lap. He has led all 10 so far here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Randy Zimmerman in tow in 2nd. Casey Thomas running 3rd. 10 laps down, 15 laps to go when we return here on MAV TV. Zimmerman, he was running in 2nd. Delaware file restart will have J.C. Newell up in front, first row all to his own. Randy Zimmerman has chosen to go to the right side. That puts Casey Thomas to the inside. And that's a little awkward also. We typically see drivers choose to go to the inside whenever they have that option, but Randy Zimmerman likes that high line, likes the cushion, so he chooses to go to the right.
Yeah, and that way he gets an opportunity to keep that speed up and get it going. And I think that's great because Zimmerman's got a definitely fast car. See if he can get the speed up and around and get around the 83 of Newell.
Again, Doug, with all of the rain that came through, they had to rework this track before the features came out. And it was quite sloppy to begin. But now as you watch the lap times, they're getting faster and faster. This track is working in, and that rain shower may have been the best thing for the cars by the time the night draws to a conclusion. Green flag back in the air. Mike Striegel waves it, and J.C. Newell right back out in front. 4 car lengths ahead of the second place running Randy Zimmerman, but he's got a challenge from Casey Thomas.
And Mitchell Franklin in the F1 now moving up into that. He's in that 4th spot, bringing it around. He's going to follow Zimmerman around as he looks to the inside or to the outside of Thomas, takes around, takes over 3rd, Zimmerman to 2nd. They've got Newell in their sights.
So Mitchell Franklin in the F1 has worked his way up to 3rd. He started back in 8th. So a hard charger. He is up 5 spots. He now has Randy Zimmerman 2 car lengths ahead of him. Now John Sheets is kind of stuck in traffic right there. The J2 of Atkinson has dropped back. He was actually running top 4. He is now down to 6th as John Sheets has gotten around him to the outside. He looks for more as he tries to make a run on Casey Thomas, but Thomas slides up in front of him.
Sheets now looks to the high side on turns 1 and 2, but he gets nudged a little farther out than he wanted to. Atkinson comes around. He takes that spot away. Now it is a battle between him and the 42 of Casey Thomas. That is Dustin Atkinson.
And that one hurt for John Sheets. Yes, it looks like the car of Casey Thomas is hurt more in the right rear as now Caden Stacy spins it around. This is over in turn number 4. He won our season opener here at Lucas Oil Speedway and was leading the points after one race, obviously, because you won. And he had to take a week off, went to another track and ran. He is back for the 2nd time trying to defend his win. But a look back at what happened on the last lap, and you see right there, Caden Stacy comes into the picture, and he spins it out on a single car incident, bringing out the Boone's Barbecue caution. We have reached the midway point, 14 laps in. That leaves 11 to go as Caden Stacy comes up to the back of the pack. When we return, we will get back to green flag racing action with the B-Mods here at Lucas Oil Speedway on MAV TV. Well, he's back underway. Caden Stacy brings out the caution here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Again, a winner here at Lucas Oil Speedway back on the 25th. And he had a really good run going tonight. He's had a good run going all season long as he finished first to start the season back on the 25th. Finished second at Springfield the day after that, but the last two events have not been good. Last week at Springfield finished 21st, and now with that spin, he goes tailback as we're ready to get back underway. It has been all J.C. Newell out in front. He had a 1.3 second lead over Randy Zimmerman, but now Mitchell Franklin is back into the fold. He's jumped up to second, gotten around Zimmerman, and now 3, 4, almost 5 cars all get involved in an incident over in turn number 2. Caden Stacy was on the very tail end of that. He got collected in it as now 5 cars all involved. Donnie Jackson in the 42, Quentin Taylor in the 2, Dwight Brown in the 39. The 27 is Terry Williams.
Yep.
First time he has been here to Lucas Oil Speedway. And as we mentioned, Caden Stacy in the 15. He got on the binders. I think he kept from making contact. As you get a look at it, this was middle of the pack on back. Quentin Taylor gets into Donnie Jackson's 42. Gets him sideways, and then Zimmerman, because on that restart, Mitchell Franklin had his number. Got around him, got up to second, and now as they are on the backstretch, they will line him up door handle to door handle, wheel to wheel, all behind J.C. Newell. Zimmerman on the outside, Mitchell Franklin on the inside. That inside line tends to work for Mitch, and it does indeed as he is able to slide up in front, take second. He doesn't want just second. He wants to go ahead and grab the lead on this first lap.
Mitchell Franklin, the F1 from Canada, is one of the individuals we've talked about. He is due. He is going to have a win sometime this season. It may be here tonight. He is in that second spot. The 83 J.C. Newell trying to hold him off, the Buffalo, Missouri native, but here comes the F1. Franklin has a car spin around. That's Casey Thomas. Gets loose over in turn number 1 along with Stacy.
Casey Thomas, Bobby Williams, Caden Stacy, all involved in that. The other car involved is the number 6 of Jay Flynn out of Lebanon. So 4 cars all get involved in this. We got one more lap taken care of. We see a couple of cars exit up on the top of the track as the Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew comes out. And Dayton Pursley involved in that. As another look at it, as a couple cars get involved, you mentioned Casey Thomas and Jay Flynn in that. Hate it for Dayton Pursley as well, who won last night for his first feature win of the year. Dayton Pursley spent last year working with a couple of late model drivers in Tony Jackson Jr. and Errol Pearson Jr. And Mitchell Franklin on that last restart, boy, I think he's got something for J.C. Newell as Casey Thomas now. That's on the top side of turn 1, so it looks as though he's going to head back to the pit. J.C. Newell, your current race leader out in front, won here in 2021. His only win here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Best finish he could get last year was 5th. And again, the throttle linkage broke early on in this year as the Hobby Time Motorsports safety crew continues to work on all of the cars, get them unwadded as Caden Stacy looks as though he may be linked together with Jay Flynn's 6.
Well, one of the big benefactor out of that caution coming out this time, Shane, is the 83 of J.C. Newell, because Franklin had just about got around him and was ready to pass him and take the lead, and that caution came out.
I really look at Mitchell Franklin's development over the last few years. Whenever he came into the USRA Nationals 2 years ago, he did not run a full season here. He kind of ran track to track and whenever he came in for the Nationals, had such a strong showing. Last year, same thing. Had a good run in the event in October, ran extremely well here on a weekly basis whenever he did show up. Best finish he had last year was 6th there at Lucas Oil Speedway. He was a 3-time winner at Midway last year, had 4 overall wins. He has won an event in each of the last 3 years, 22, 21, and 20. Still looking for his first win this year, and he's got a rocket right now as he is starting to knife into that lead that J.C. Newell had built up. As they now have Flynn's car separated from Caden Stacy's, and there you see Dayton Pursley in the 10P, second-generation driver, as he has his night draw to an early close.
Another tough luck going out to that 42 of Casey Thomas. Thomas in the top 5 before that crash, got involved in that crash. He'll be done, I believe. I don't know if he got back on or not, but for these races. But if he did, he's going to be way in the back and having to come all the way back around. So tough luck to Casey Thomas for that unfortunate incident.
Jay Flynn back under power. He'll have to go to the tailback. And with that last restart where Randy Zimmerman, and if you're J.C. Newell, you think back to week 1, this is what happened. He was running up front and his throttle linkage broke under caution and had to go to the infield, unable to finish his race. I'm wondering if he's thinking right now, oh, please just stay green. I don't want any more cautions. I don't want to repeat.
He is definitely on the up there on the point, but he has got some tough competition right behind him. Those top 5 cars are dead fast for sure.
Chris Jackson, who is your defending champion here at Lucas Oil Speedway, 7-time champion here at the Diamond and Dirt Tracks, not here tonight. He's going to miss a couple of races in this B-Mod division, and it's going to be extremely difficult to come back after a couple of weeks off. You're losing a ton of points. Was not here early in the year. There was a big race over in Humboldt, Kansas that he was at. Big payday for him. So there's going to be multiple races. He's not going to be able to collect points. So might see a changing of the guard unless he comes back and starts ripping off win after win. May see a new champion here after he had won the last 4.
Yeah, but at the same point, Shane, if anybody can do it, we've seen him just dominate a series, dominate a class, and he is fast. He is that good, and a national leader in USRA points. So it looks like we're getting ready to go.
2 wide back behind JC.
Yellow lights out. That means we're going to go green flag racing out of turn number 4. J.C. Newell on the Delaware restart on the point. Mitchell Franklin and Randy Zimmerman right behind him as they come around.
And on the last restart, that second row was flipped. Zimmerman on the outside, Franklin on the inside, and Franklin had a great run and made the pass. We'll see if that plays into it. Now is that they are in opposite positions, and on this restart, Mitchell Franklin's restart not quite as good as it was on the one before, but still enough to get in front of Zimmerman. He now has some making up to do as he was on the back bumper of J.C. Newell on that last restart. Now he's in the middle of a 4-car hornet's nest with Zimmerman in the middle of a 3-car sandwich. Contact made. He and Franklin get together, rub again, and Zimmerman's going to lose the most out of all that as maybe a cut tire or something wrong on the 28 as his car comes to a dead standstill off of turn 2. Yeah, he's got suspension and steering damage up on the front. That car is going to go nowhere. So after a strong heat race run, starting up front on the front row, the Z28's night looks as though it is done. It is still J.C. Newell out in front as the caution is out. We still have 10 laps left to see if J.C. Newell can hold off Mitchell Franklin running up front. We'll have those 10 laps coming up after this. The Diamond of Dirt Tracks. It is Night of Speed here on MAV TV. Fort Scott, Kansas native is going to go back and make the long trip back home but that opens the door for Mitchell Franklin. Green flag in the hand of the Wheatland Outlaw. Mike Striegel up on top of the flag stand. Single file restarts from here on out. No more too wide behind J.C. Newell. Step down on the loud pedal. Back underway. 10 laps to go to determine our winner of our A main here for the B-Mods.
It is the 83 of Newell. Newell with the lead, but it is Mitchell Franklin, the F1. In that second spot, here comes Atkinson. Atkinson in that J2. Looks to the inside of Franklin as they come out of turn number 4. It's going to be Newell on the point. Franklin in second, Atkinson in third.
Now, this is what I love about dirt track racing is Dustin Atkinson. Back about 5 or 6 laps ago, he lost a ton of spots, dropped back outside the top 5. You would normally think your night's pretty much done. You're not going to contend for a win. But with attrition the way it is, and all it takes is just a couple of good laps and a restart, and you're back in it. Dustin Atkinson is there. Top 3. Looking at a podium finish now. He wants more. So does Mitchell Franklin. I don't think the night is done for Mitchell Franklin yet either. With only 8 laps to go, J.C. Newell, I don't want to say he's a sitting duck, but it's going to be tough for him to hold off the F1 as we continue to wind these laps down.
4th spot, that is the J.C. Morton. Morton, the 18 car, and trying to reel in those top 3, but Newell on the point, the Buffalo, Missouri native, coming around the F1 of Franklin in that second spot as they come through. Mitchell Franklin, the Camden, Missouri number F1, and the J2 of Dustin Atkinson, Lebanon, Missouri in that 3rd spot. Trying to hold on, that is J.C. Morton, the 18 and 4.
5 laps to go, and now you're going to start watching lap times. You're going to see is Mitchell Franklin gaining any ground on J.C. Newell. It was 0.6 seconds last time around, 0.5 seconds that time. This time it is down to 0.3. So Mitchell Franklin is catching up with J.C. Newell right now. Question is he going to be able to get around him and take a different line than what J.C. Newell has been able to do? As you can tell, all 3 of those cars are pretty much running in the same line. They are finding as much grip on the top side as they are on the bottom side. And now Mitchell Franklin, that last turn, he lost half a second to J.C. Newell. That's going to start to open the door for Dustin Atkinson that is now running in 3rd. As Franklin continues to pedal around the low side, they get the 2 to go this time by. J.C. Newell still leads by a full second over Mitchell Franklin in the F1. If Mitchell's going to have a chance now, he's going to have some type of kamikaze move and try to take the line away and do the slide job on J.C. Newell with 1 to go. That time by 0.8 seconds. That equates into about 5 car lengths J.C. Newell has over Mitchell Franklin. 1/2 of a lap to go. Early on in the year, J.C. Newell had his throttle linkage break. He was on his way to victory lane. He seals the deal tonight as he will win here early in the year over Mitchell Franklin and Dustin Atkinson. J.C. Newell wins at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks for the first time in 2 years in Wheatland. J.C. Newell leads every single lap, all 25 of them, as he